Hi guys, this is Mark. In this video we will continue exploring the data retrieval API, and we will focus on requesting specific properties when you do your database queries. Previously in the examples we have reviewed, when you were doing a query into the database, you were getting all properties, and by that I mean all columns declared in the data table. Sometimes it is not needed and you may need to focus on and retrieve only specific properties, and I will demonstrate how that works. Let's take a look at our data. We will review that in REST console first, so you understand the REST API structure for that, and then we'll do an example in UI Builder as well. So here in the product table, the columns that we have there are 6 columns that are declared and a couple of system level columns. So when we do a query and just do a simple get, notice that for every single object, these are the properties that are returned. And sometimes you may want to restrict it only to specific properties just to optimize your requests, because retrieving additional data will take additional time, and focusing on specific data either for security reasons or performance, doesn't matter, that may be needed. So here, if let's say we want to retrieve only, for instance, price, vendor, and title, the way this would work is in REST console you click columns and then select the properties that you need. And as we said, it is price, vendor, here's vendor, and title. Notice what happens in the actual endpoint URL. Now there are parameters, and they are specifically property equals the name of the column, and they are repeated. Then this will instruct the backend list database to return data only for these specific properties. Let's rerun this request, and as you can see, the responses now contain only these 3 properties, and there is this special property that is always included and it is used by our SDKs. You can just safely ignore it. It will always be there, but it is way more compact, and this way you can manipulate which properties you can request. Once we start digging into relations, this will apply to relations as well, but let's not get there yet. We will be talking about this use case once we start learning relations. Let me switch to UI Builder, and then we'll do the same thing in UI Builder, because that will demonstrate how the actual API call is structured, and that will apply not only to Codeless but to all our SDKs as well. Now in UI Builder, I will use exactly the same page that you already have if you followed along from previous lectures. And here, let's switch to page and go into the logic for page. This is the logic that we have from the previous lecture where we were discussing sorting. The sorting can stay here. Both sorting and retrieving specific properties, they work together, so one does not cancel the other. Here you will see that there is an argument or a connector called properties. So what this connector expects is a list, and then in that list you can identify the properties that you want to retrieve. And let's connect a list to properties, and in the UI we do display, I believe, 5 or 6, I think 5 different properties. So let's create 5 connectors in that list and reuse this text block, and here we will put title. I think we have category, rating, price. This one will be vendor. So now we instructed the backend to return only these properties for every single object that comes back. This will not change the way our application works at all. All it does is it changes what's returned from the backend to the client side, and the client side expects just these properties. So let's run this page. And as you can see, it works exactly the same way. The only difference will be in the actual response. So if we reload this page and take a look at the response, so you will see that the response contains just the properties that we identified, plus this special one that we can safely ignore. That's all there is to it. And you will see that in some cases it will become very helpful, especially once we start discussing database functions, which is one of the lectures that is coming very soon. However, at this point, that's all I wanted to share as far as requesting specific properties. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and as always, happy coding.